Yeah, we live. Welcome to the Dog Pound. James King and Cornelius K9 Bunches. What's up, my dog?
What's happening, man? What's going on?
Oh man, nothing but the weather, as they say. It done finally got pretty cold in Detroit. How's it out there where you at?
It's all right. It's California cold out here.
California love out there, huh?
Yeah, it's about 58. So people,
Wow.
it's cold for here. It's gonna go down to about 52 tonight. So
Okay.
got to get your blankets out and stuff.
Wow. I guess it ain't that bad being jealous then, huh? I'm jealous. Ain't that bad, boy. Yeah, man. Oh, man. A lot of stuff going on right now.
Well, the biggest, the biggest fight, this weekend, Caleb Plant and Cable Truax.
Wow. That's a big fight, too.
Did you catch the PBC show Saturday evening?
No, which one? Who fought?
No, they had it was like the HBO, how they used to do the prelim to the fight, how Showtime, there's a thing called PBC Collection, and on like before the big fight, they'll show the two guys, and they were showing Caleb Plant, how he got to his championship, and then Cable Truax, the last time we had him on the show, he was getting ready to fight Kid Chocolate just before that cut. So they're talking about how Plant might be overlooking him as the underdog, but he. Truax, you look at his record, he's been in there with some pretty good guys. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Right. Yeah, and then Truex been on the show with us too, though. So I'm definitely pulling for him.
yeah, Plant's been on the show a couple times too. I'm not sure. It might have been before. Well, actually, when we first met Caleb Plant,
Okay.
it was when he first got married. That was before the death of his daughter. When he was an up and comer, that was when he was still a prospect. I think he was like 10-0 or something like that. Maybe even 8-0, something like that. And
Okay.
he was living in Nashville, and then he had this trouble with his daughter. His daughter died, and divorce and things like that. And then I mean, look at him now, and he's married
Yes.
what's her name, the girl on PBC, and he world champion. So
Right. Yeah.
he's overcome his difficulties, and I mean,
Right.
Cable. I don't know. He's one of those guys. He's won everything that there is in boxing in the state of Minnesota. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, James, can you turn the TV down a little bit because we can hear it in the background.
wait a minute.
Are you trying to multitask? Okay. They say my mic better now. Good looking.
Is that better?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
I think so. Is it? They let us know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I know your mic is better
bye.
than me, so
Yeah.
you sound
Yeah, we're good
better
now.
now. Yeah.
Hey, I see a guy on here named Guy Packer said, "What's up, champ?" Man, Guy Packer, we fought each other before. Oh man, and he ain't mad at me. I ain't mad at you either, brother. Like Tupac, I ain't mad at you. No, I ain't. Yeah, man. JK, what's the deal, man? Hey, it's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy. I'm talking about in the sport of boxing. Finally, seemed like Ryan Garcia and Javante Davis is about to fight. I know Clarissa Shields, she's about to do a pay-per-view March the 5th against DeRay. Her name is Marie Zuri. And it was a fight that was scheduled before the pandemic had hit. and it's going to be on a pay-per-view on a streaming service, kind of like the streaming service that I was on when I fought on pay-per-view in Florida. So a lot of people are starting to jump on that pay-per-view bandwagon for a lesser price, which is going to mess around and knock the big time pay-per-view down a little bit, which is good. Then we might can get fights, the big fights for a lot cheaper.
Well, you can get the big fights for a lot cheaper, but are the fighters going to be able to? Are they going to want to fight for lower purses? You can't have it both ways. You can't have you can't have cheaper pay per view and have bigger purses. That what what we need is to find out what's happening with this vaccine, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to put butts in seats again.
Yeah.
And even then, just think, if you had half the people in Texas Arena, what's that, 50,000? You know,
Yeah.
so
Dallas Cowboys arena.
yeah.
Ooh, they probably get more than 50.
No, I said half.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
said half because
Yeah.
I don't think it holds more than 105,000. I
Yeah.
might be wrong, but
Okay.
but
Man,
I'm
these
just
promoters
saying.
been robbing us though. Hey, James, the promoters been robbing the fighters since day one. Look how many millions of dollars Don King done got off fighters from
Yeah,
Mike Tyson home. It's time for them to pay up now. I'm so happy that fighters done wised up, man, and got smart, and now they promoting, and now they asking for more money. Man, they supposed to. It's about that. It's about that time for the fighters to really win, not just win, but to really win. You know what I'm saying?
well, Kell Brook won. But
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
he-
Jake Paul won.
see,
Nate
yeah,
Robinson won.
yeah, but Nate wasn't a fighter though. I'm still kind of,
I mean,
you
come
know,
on.
I'm still kind of ticked about that. I mean, just think, Nate Robinson got more money to lose than Gervonta Davis got for winning. You got to think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, mm,
I'm just,
yeah. Conor
so
McGregor. Conor McGregor won the most.
yeah, of course, but
100 million.
it's
My goodness.
see,
Yeah,
but things. Hopefully, this economy is
yeah,
going to start back up a little bit. But
yeah,
like I said, it depends upon people
yeah,
being able to move. And
yeah,
that includes the fighters. I mean,
yeah.
uh, nobody want to come to Detroit in March, man. You know what I'm saying? But people want to come to Las Vegas in March and April.
Right, right.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so you have to start getting back to the basics. And the basics is putting on big fights in big venues and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
back to opening up the Barclays Center, back to opening up Madison Square Garden.
You said the basics. I like that. The basics. Get back to the basics. These fighters want to throw all these little blah, 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 blah. The jab. How about setting all that up with the jab? The basics. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, everybody says it, but it's just like Mike Tyson says. As soon as you get hit in the face, that strategy goes out the window.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you throw a jab, move in behind the
Mhm.
jab, throw,
Yeah.
but what about the punches that guy's throwing at you in between? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't no
Yeah.
sparring partner here. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
you know,
Right. All about the basics, though. It's still a basic. Everything is basic. Basic. You
speak.
vote for president. Whoever get the most votes win. Basic.
Well, that's the way it should be. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Politics.
but
It's politics.
I do see that there are some amateur bouts uh, starting to get organized again. Uh,
Okay.
Especially, I think the ones I was looking at were in North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
I believe. And what's your strategy for? Well, I know it's early in the year, but what's your strategy for little K9? I mean, he's graduated now, so things things did a little different schedule here, but that mean Papa got to find a brand new bag, because he
Yeah.
ain't fight he ain't fighting pro no more. So what's up? You
Hey
got a
man, look, K9, if you keep looking the way you looking, we just gonna go pro. I mean, that's the ultimate goal is to go pro and to become a world champion. Just like his dad and passing me up. I want to see him do better than me. Anybody that got a kid should want to see their kid do better at whatever they do in life. And if it's something that they doing that their dad did, they should want them to do better.
Yeah, perfectly understandable. So, uh, uh, it's January. I mean, are you talking about like around the summer, or because I thought last I heard you're getting back in the ring in March, right?
Yes, yes. The goal is to be back in there on March the 6th. We're looking for an opponent as we speak. I'll have more details, after this weekend because the commission and they had some fights that's this weekend. So after this weekend, I'll have more details.
Okay, now have they made any of the physicals more stringent? Are there different? I mean, I'm assuming that there's different rules. Or March the 5th. Or, are you going to be able to have a, a small audience? Do you have to do it? Do you have to be vaccinated? Have you heard anything about any of that yet?
No, I don't know because I'm not actually the promoter, so I don't know if it's gonna be a big crowd. People gonna be able to come to the fight. I just know I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna take care of my business and get them up out of there, and then I'm gonna come back to the crib and do the dog pound.
Get that basement fixed. Get, get,
Man,
get that
I'm
basement
on it.
fixed.
I'm on it. It's so cold right now, man. I'm going from training people back home, dog pound, training people back home, live, training
Hey,
people back home, reading the Bible. I'm back
look
and
here.
forth like Leah, back and
Look,
forth.
you got to have somewhere for them little ones to crawl, man.
Oh yeah, we gonna have that together. Oh, we gonna have that. I probably spent about 50,000 or more on that basement. Actually spent more than that on that basement. So I was hurt when I had to get rid of that carpet. I was doing my best to rehab that carpet. I spent stacks on that carpet, man. That was that carpet that I had was in the White House. I'm talking about that's the kind of carpet I had. It was some real good carpet.
Look,
Man, I
hey,
was mad.
hey, Shag is gone, Pina.
Yeah,
you, you,
yeah,
no more Shag.
man.
You
The
know.
basement was the basement was the place to be. Big screen. I'm talking about, man, everything was right. Right, right. Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so on the medical, have you heard anything about the medicals? I mean, are they? I know before you had to be tested. Are you going to have to be vaccinated now?
No,
Or
no, I mean, shoot, I'm retired. They try to get me to be vaccinated. Right. I'm retired because I'm not taking the vaccine. I mean, it's to each his own, do what you want to do, but I'm not gonna let them force me to take a vaccine. That's a good, interesting question because I know a lot of people are being forced to take the vaccine to keep their jobs. It's sad when you have to be forced to do something, I mean, God
right,
gave us free will, so we all should be able to have free will. If you want to be gay, that's on you. It's free will. If you want to be vaccinated, that's on you. Free will.
but,
If you
we-
want to jump off
but,
in the lake, it's on you. It's free will. I wouldn't recommend it, but everybody can do what they want to do. But I'm
well,
not getting vaccinated. And
okay, okay. Can I ask you this?
yes,
You,
please.
you have a newborn.
Yes, I do.
Okay, now you're not you don't want to be vaccinated,
Right.
but you live in a bubble. She's in your house. He
Yeah.
is in your I
Okay.
changed it.
Uh oh.
He is in your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
would you be willing to take him someplace in a crowd where you know that those people aren't vaccinated?
Oh no, that's the thing right there. He not going to none of the fights. He won't be going to none of the fights no time soon.
Yeah,
Even
but
though, like, yeah.
you're going to the fights. You got to come back home. Maybe you
Oh yeah,
get it
yeah,
from
yeah. But
somebody else.
you gotta remember though, at the fights, there's no crowds right now. In the last fight I had, it was a small crowd, and then I wasn't
Did you
slapping hands with cats. Out did my
did you get
business and came
in
straight back home.
did you get in an airplane?
Cool.
Did you go to an airport to get to your fight?
Yeah, yep. But I wouldn't listen. I wasn't coughing on nobody. Wasn't nobody coughing on me. I kept my
Well,
distance. I mean, you got to still live. You can't just be
see,
afraid.
no, 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 no. What I'm saying is, and we went through this before. I'm
Yeah,
wearing a mask for my protection. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like what
Absolutely.
you do, like what you say to that's on you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but if you got it from somebody else on your way home,
yeah.
would you feel that guilty if somebody in your family got it?
Yeah. But I just pray that it don't happen. When I come home, I just make sure what I do. I know. I mean, I think I know the remedy of curing certain things. With God, all things are possible. I get right in the steam room. When I come home, I get in the steam room because one thing I know is that COVID, it can't survive in the heat when the heat is eternal heat. So I make sure I got a lot of eternal heat in my body before I be around my family. I go out every day. So I'm always back in the house because I got a steam room. So I get in the steam. I steam.
See, now,
See,
layman
yeah.
is the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't know how he is about the vaccine, but when he go
Okay.
out, he look like he got on a hazmat suit when he
Okay.
go.
Okay.
You know, he got the mask and and everything else. You
Okay.
know, but I mean, it's just my little brother. He is he did a film this Sunday from
Yeah.
his church, and
Mhm.
their church is like you. They don't believe in the vaccine, and God, will take care of us. You
Yeah.
know, and I mean, I'm like I said, to each his own.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I would be leery of maybe he's my brother. I might not be leery of him, but
Mhm.
in order for me to get to Atlanta, that means I got to go to an airport here in San Diego, sit
Yeah.
around a bunch of people. Then I got to get on an airplane with these same people, and I got to wait for the plane to get to 10,000 feet before the filtration system kicks on.
Mhm.
Then I got to descend, which means during the descension that there's no filtration system on. Then I have to go to the destiny wherever I'm at. I got to get an Uber or whoever or some kind of way I got to get from this airport to wherever
Yeah.
I'm staying. You know.
Yeah.
Then I got to do my medicals with these people, and maybe I got a couple other side things I have to do for the promoter or things like that. So you know I have to come in contact with other people, and whereas like I said, you know I trust me. Are you that willing to to trust other people to keep you safe?
Well, I feel like this. I really be honest with you. I got such strong faith. I feel like, that I could be close to a person. A person can be right next to me and had COVID and I won't get it. But I don't want him to cough in my face if he got it. And I ain't go if somebody get their coughing, I'm a peekaboo. I'm blocking it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't want a person to cough in my face anyway, because that's spreading germs regardless.
Yeah,
So, even before COVID, you get the coughing in my face, I wanna look at you like you crazy. Like, bro, what is you? Wanna probably
yeah.
swing on you. So you
So wait,
shouldn't do that no
so
way.
so wait a minute, wait a minute. How old are you right now?
Ah. I'm
Well,
younger than
okay,
you.
okay. I'm just trying to figure
Yeah.
because let's see. as of right now, I'm figuring I got a good. Let's see, I'll be 74 in 2 weeks, so I got a good 27 more years left.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure in 27 more years.
Okay.
That'll put you right around 70 something, right?
Uh,
Close to it.
20 some years.
Yeah, almost 30.
Okay.
That'll put you. Yeah,
I'll be up there.
so
I'll be up there.
you'll be somewhere in your 70s by then. So I'm going to see how much you change as far as your health wise in
Yeah.
30 years as you
Oh, yeah.
because when I was 40, see, I was invincible too. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go back. I think I was in my 40s before I even knew that I had high blood pressure. So it wasn't like
Okay.
I was, like
Yeah.
it wasn't like, and I was eating collard greens and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so but
A
like I
lot.
said,
Let me say this real quick too, though. JK, it's a lot of people saying what's up too. I want to shout people out, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. JP, Liney Beasley, Spider Moose, multiple verse. We know we at the Dog Pond. We appreciate you. Keep tapping in.
I
Yeah, go
see
ahead,
John.
JK.
No, it's interesting, as you get older and
Yeah.
you keep, like I said, at some you get to that point in life where first you're invincible, then you get to
Mhm.
that point in life where you get, like somewhat cautious, and
Yeah.
then you get to that point in life where every day is precious, you know.
Right.
So so
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand. Like
so
for people that make the choice, like when you're a little bit older, they make, health choices. You know what I mean? Then I understand. I mean, I don't knock nobody for what they do. We all got our own way. We all got our own brain, our own, we all got different DNA. When they fingerprint you for a reason. Because we all have different fingerprints. I mean, everybody identity is different. We can have the same name, but we different. All of us are different all the way around. So I don't judge nobody when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to certain things, you come at me with something that ain't right, then I'm gonna let you know how I feel. You can say
yeah.
it's judging or not, but I'm just gonna keep it real and speak my mind.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Play the play.
you have Jehovah Witnesses that that would never take any type of vaccine or blood transfusions, anything like So
See, I
it,
respect
it,
that.
yeah,
And
so
I ain't no deal with, so I still respect that. Yep.
yeah, you know,
Right.
like you said, it's all about choice. But then I had the choice not to. Also, it goes the other way. I had the choice not to be around you if I don't trust
Yeah, of
out there.
course.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like you said, it goes both ways. But let's talk about some of these fights, man, because
Yeah.
like once again, I'm kind of feeling for my man Deontay Wilder, man.
Oh, Wilder. Bomb squad.
And,
Bomb squad,
you know,
baby. How you
I
feeling
mean,
sorry for him? They offering him, I heard, $10 million. Let me rewind that. $10 million to take a seat back and let AJ and Tyson Fury fight. Man, I think
well,
that's a good deal.
hey, anytime you get $2 not
Yeah.
to fight, I mean, but like you say, $10 million set aside money. I mean, I do understand that, but the thing that I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking from Deontay Wilder's standpoint too.
Huh?
If he takes that $10 million,
Yeah.
where is he gonna find another fight?
What? Don't forget, he's a former champion.
He's a
Former, not
yeah, right.
and he's still young.
He's a former, but the money there's no money in him fighting Luis what's his name
Matisse?
yeah there's no money in him fighting uh, uh, Dylan White. There's no money in him.
It is some money in fighting Dylan White. Dylan White got a country behind him. We've been talking about that lately. Country. Let me
Yeah,
rewind that.
yeah,
Country.
But Dylan White's having enough problems with isn't it Povetkin? Isn't it Povetkin? He's supposed to have a
Yeah,
rematch with,
absolutely.
you
But,
know.
what about Usyk? Usyk got a country behind him. That'll be a good fight with him and Wilder. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
opportunity out there. Andy Reese, they talking about that Wilder can fight Andy Reese next. I mean, come on,
Okay,
Bobby Moose just said $10 million is a lot of
and
money to not fight. To sit
right,
back and say, "Go ahead, y'all fight," so I sit back and watch.
right.
$10 million?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of
Boy.
money. It's a
Yes.
lot of money. It's a lot of money. But then again, you know, how much money did he spend in that lawsuit in order for him to win the right to fight Tyson Fury? You remember that lawsuit? What went a long time?
Yeah. He
You
probably
know,
was spending that money, though. Think about it. That's Al Heyman. Al Heyman like, we about to get this money. That's Al Heyman. Come on, man. And these
yeah.
guys
Now,
ain't spending
now,
no money when it comes to
now,
that.
now, Al Heyman is probably telling him, "Sit your ass down and take that $10 million." Yeah,
Oh, okay. 'Cause Al Heyman ain't gonna get none of that money. Al Heyman probably telling him, "Get the 10 million, bro. We want the fight because the fight gonna be probably worth 50 million.
well,
So
he
if you
can't.
got to get that money, then Al Heyman get a percentage of 50 million.
He
So he
can't.
ain't telling him to take that 10. He telling him to get that fight.
Look, Al Heyman took care of Deontay Wilder when he didn't have 2 quarters to get together. Al
Yeah,
Heyman took care. So I mean,
absolutely.
so Al Heyman is going to get his investment back if he hasn't gotten it back already.
Oh man, yes indeed. He got that when Floyd signed with him. When Floyd signed with him, when Floyd left,
No,
bar,
we talking about Deontay now. The money that he's invested in Deontay. You
yeah.
know, but I mean, do you think that he would get a third fight with Fury? Do you
I don't
think
think
that
it's gonna happen.
do you think he's going to ever get a fight with Anthony Joshua?
I
Because
definitely don't think that's gonna happen.
okay,
I don't.
so,
I think
so
Anthony Joshua don't want no problems with Deontay Wilder. I
uh,
think because Styles made fights. I think Wilder cannot beat Fury as of right now, but I think that he has stopped Anthony Joshua, and I think Anthony Joshua has a great chance at beating Tyson Fury just because of the style.
okay, so and then of course with a country behind him, there's going to be a rematch.
Yeah.
So is that another is that another sit down purse for Deontay? Is it $20 million this time?
I mean, it depends on what the contract say. The contract might say, "Okay, I'll take the $10 million, but I get the winner between you and Anthony Joshua." So he might get the winner between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So the money that he gonna get, the 10 he getting on top of the winner between them two, he might get. They probably offer him. I mean, for a fight with Tyson Fury right now, he might make 50 million or 30 million, 30 to 50 million. But if he decide to take the 10 and not fight him, which I think will be a good deal because I don't think he's gonna be able to beat him. And it can really mess his money up if he go out there and get stopped by Tyson Fury back to back. So I would just take the money.
Wait a
Uh,
minute.
and-
Did you see what Spider Moose wrote down here? Says
nah,
Wilder turned down $100 million to fight Joshua before he fought Fury. He can't take step aside money now. You see, that's what like
yeah,
I'm
but
saying,
see,
them $100 million fights is over now. He might get a $20 million fight or a $30 million fight, but
yeah,
them big
I got.
purses.
But
Go
I
ahead.
had to, James. I had to see where he turned down $100 million because what would happen is that Anthony Joshua actually wanted to be the A side. He was given compared to what he was getting. He was giving Anthony Deontay Wilder crumbs. So Anthony Joshua turned it down because he was actually telling him like, look, you take this and we gonna take this. So if he was
So
giving
so
Wilder 100, he was making body 500. So why did it
so
like
wait
that?
a minute. So wait a minute.
Or you accept that? Let me say that.
So so you turned down 100 million because you figured that wow that Josh was getting 5 million but you want him now to take 10 million and step aside money. I'm kind
I
of
mean,
like Spider Moose here. There, that don't make no sense there.
hey, his stock was a lot higher. His stock was a lot higher when he was undefeated. He's not
right,
undefeated anymore.
right,
Coming off the loss.
and you can't. That's something you can't take back. So that's why I say I don't think that he's going to be that marketable, that that $100 million fighter anymore. Now, hey, granted, 20, 30, 50 million, I mean, that's good money. I wouldn't mind just having the taxes on it. But, as far as him, he may have like I said, he may have,
Hey,
have
hey,
really damaged his reputation.
Spider Moose, that's my homie. But I think Spider Moose is, if I'm not mistaken, Spider Moose is from UK. So he rolling with Joshua. So of course, Spider Moose like, man, heck yeah, Joshua. Well, he turned down a fight with Joshua. I think it's the other way around. Spider Moose, I think that Joshua turned down the fight against Deontay Wilder. So and how he did it is he put him as the C side, not the B side. He made Wilder the C side. While he was supposed to be the A side, but Wilder had the better knockout ratio. Even though Anthony Joshua had more fans and he had a country behind him, he wanted him to take way less just because I don't think he wanted to fight. But if he was going to take the fight, guess what? You might win when it comes to the fight, but when it comes to the money, I'm going to win. And I can guarantee you, it definitely wasn't $100 million that he turned down. What? No. But if it was, text it to me, send it to me, and let me see it, and I will apologize.
Well, hey, stranger things have happened,
Yeah,
especially doing that. But let's talk about Devin Haney also while we're talking about it, because
yeah,
now they're talking about Devin Haney. He says he wants to fight for all the belts, but
yeah,
we've been talking about this lightweight division, and to me, I see Devin Haney as the weakest of that division, because now I'm gonna give you my reasons why, okay? And
yeah,
you can debate me. Okay, you said that Ryan Garcia, you thought that Ryan Garcia would beat Tank.
yeah.
So that puts, I think that Tank would beat Devin Haney. So that would
Okay,
be
yeah,
so
yeah,
so so that would, if Devin Haney, if Ryan Garcia is higher in rank to you than Tank, that means that right now you would make uh, 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 Ryan either number one or number two. Am I correct? And number one, to me, number one is Teofimo Lopez. Okay.
yeah,
Now, his matchup, Devin Haney,
yeah.
would be against either Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. Now,
Uh,
as you say, styles make fights.
yeah.
What do you think about Devin Haney, a boxer, against two boxer punchers like Teofimo Lopez and
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia?
Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Spider Moose. Um, I feel like Devin Haney need to stay far away from Teofimo Lopez. I don't think that's a good fight for him at all. No. I think a good fight for him actually would be against Ryan Garcia. I think Haney had problems with Gervonta Davis, and I definitely think he'll have problems with Teofimo Lopez. But Ryan Garcia, I think because of the style, I think that'd be the perfect fight for him. And just like I think that Ryan Garcia will be have a heck of a chance at beating Gervonta Davis just because of the style. I don't think Ryan Garcia has more experience than Davis. I don't really think he's a better fighter than Davis, but he has the style to beat Davis. Just like I don't have the experience Floyd Mayweather have, I don't have the skills Floyd Mayweather have probably, but I have that egg. Styles make fights. So that's it right there. It's all about the styles. Styles make fights.
Okay, so now tell me about this Ryan Garcia style
Yeah.
versus Devin Haney style. When Devin Haney is a boxer, but how's he gonna get Ryan Garcia up off of him?
You said how it's now say it one more time. You said how what now? How Ryan Garcia gonna keep who off what?
How is Devin Haney
Yeah.
gonna keep Ryan Garcia off of him, knowing that they're both boxers, but you have to give Ryan Garcia the edge in punching power.
Yeah, but in speed, and both guys are fast. I think that Devin Haney will be putting more pressure on Ryan Garcia than Ryan Garcia will be putting on Devin Haney. Really, Ryan Garcia is really a good counterpuncher. He'll put the pressure on you just to counterpunch you with the left hook. See what I'm saying? That's what I think he's gonna be trying to do against Gervonta Davis, put a little pressure so he can make him run into a hook. So that's the same thing that he'll try to do against Haney. And I think Haney is smart enough not to fall for that. Like I say, styles may fight. So I don't think that Haney will fall for it. I think Haney will be smart enough, fast enough, sharp enough to not get caught with a check hook. Now, that Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, it might be a different story. But if Gervonta Davis has enough, enough, I don't want to say heart because he has the heart. If he has enough confidence, there we go, enough confidence to fight Ryan Garcia, then it still be hard for me to go against Devin Haney because maybe he sees something I don't see. But I just think that Ryan Garcia has the style to beat Gervonta Davis. He got a good left hook. He got a good right hook. And if you watch when I beat Corey Spinks, I beat him with the right hook. And Corey Spinks is a southpaw. Gervonta Davis is a southpaw. Ryan Garcia has a good check hook, which is real good for southpaws and overhand rights. I see my cousin tapped in. What's up, Willie Fortune? How you doing, sir? Spider Moose. Look, Spider Moose from UK, and he agreed with me. He said, "Hey, he think that Wilder would KO Joshua. He think that Hearn was just blowing smoke."
Okay, well, we definitely gonna see.
Yeah, EJ says Gervonta Davis will be the top guy in the division. You agree?
That's what I'm thinking. But once again, I think what you were talking about when you said Gervonta Davis, nobody's tested that chin yet. If
I mean, Leo was hitting him. Leo Santa Cruz was hitting him.
But Leo didn't have enough, oomph behind it, quite, I mean, he okay, so do you think that Leo hits as hard as Teofimo Lopez?
No, he's small. He's a smaller guy. He's smaller. Smaller
okay.
guy.
Okay, so I guess that answers that question, right? About so we ain't gonna talk about what Leo was doing because we're talking about Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, and I don't think Leo punches as hard as any of those four.
Hey, so Willie Fortune said Ryan has no defense.
Yeah, I was reading that, and I agree with you. That's why I think that Gervonta Davis would win the fight, whereas you say Ryan Garcia would win the fight. And you can't just go at Gervonta with all offense and don't have no defense because Gervonta, it'll be the same thing that he did to Louis. So at least that's my point.
Okay.
Another thing.
Huh? Who you got number one? So Terry said he got Lopez, Davis, Garcia, Haney. That's what he got.
I got Lopez number one, Gervonta's number two, and Ryan Garcia number three, and Devin Haney number four.
Wow, you got the same. Did you just read his text?
No, I'm actually
the same thing.
I'm actually looking at one of the questions on the Ring magazine page, well, actually it's ESPN, and that was does Tyson Fury belong to be in the pound for pound conversation? What's your thoughts on that?
You said what's my thoughts on what again? I was reading some of the comments. You said what again now?
Does Tyson Fury belong in the pound for pound conversation?
You talking about number one? Not number one, no. But top 10.
Does he? And why? Just because he took a 36-inch stool?
No, because he doesn't fight regularly. I mean, I don't feel like a person is pound for pound the best if they're not fighting. I don't care how good they are; they got to fight a lot. I mean, not just once every blue moon. Gary Russell is a good fighter, and he could be in the top 10, but he fight every 2-3 years.
So why is Terence Crawford in the top 3?
I mean, he fight once a year, at least once a year. not once every 3 years. That's why I don't have him as my top pound for pound guy, because he hasn't fought no one that I can really say, okay, he has the skills, Don. He probably the most skilled fighter out here. But being the most skilled fighter and fighting the right fights or the right pound for pound fighters, like he haven't fought Errol Spence, he haven't fought Sean Porter, he haven't fought Danny Garcia. He has fought none of the top 10 fighters in his weight class. His last fight was against Kell Brook. So how am I gonna say he's number one?
Okay.
Now, a lot of people are upset because I said Canelo is number one. A lot of people agree. But
no, I'm upset. I mean, what's the difference between Bud and Canelo? Canelo hasn't fought a real fight since
Mayweather?
That's right.
Since Mayweather?
Okay. And how long ago was that?
Huh?
I didn't have this grade when Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I didn't have this. I'm sure I didn't have this grade when Canelo fought Cotto.
But he fought him.
So,
now, who have Terence Crawford fought on a level as Canelo?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's Mayweather.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Who did Canelo beat for the 168-pound title?
Caleb Smith, the champ. He beat the champ.
And where was he rated when Canelo beat him? Was he rated in the top 10 when Canelo beat him?
Yes. Top 10 what?
Pound for pound.
He's a world champion. The top 10.
There's a lot of world champions that are not in the top 10.
But at 168, no one is 168 in the top 10 pound for pound but Canelo. He hasn't had nobody to fight that's in his weight class that's top 10.
What about
he can't fight. If he fight Errol Spence, he top 10.
Okay, but he hasn't. Wait a minute. Hold it. The last time Canelo called out Charlo, you was the world champion.
That's right.
So
4 years ago.
So how come you talk about somebody that's ducked all of the best? He hasn't fought the Charlo. He hasn't fought Charlo. He hasn't fought any of the. He hasn't fought Boo Boo. Boo Boo been calling him out since I was 60. Well, not that long, but anyway, I'm just saying. Name some of the guys. There's a couple guys in Detroit that might want to look up Canelo that he hasn't even thought about fighting.
But hold on. Did you see that Floyd Mayweather? When Floyd Mayweather picked and chose all the people he fought, all Canelo is doing the same thing Floyd did.
But the question was, does Tyson Fury belong in the pound for pound conversation? That was the original question.
No.
And what you said was no, and you was telling me why Terence Crawford didn't belong there, and you was telling me why Canelo did. And I don't see the difference between the record I mean, like you said, just like Floyd picked and chose, Canelo's pick and choosing.
They paying Canelo $385 million
I
for
told
a
you
fight
that.
deal
I
for the
told
reason of the fact
you.
that he's the best fighter in the world, pound for
No,
pound.
no. They paid
Just like
Canelo.
Mayweather.
They paid
They
Canelo
pay him.
$385 million
Yes. And
fight
why?
to fight eight to fight eight guys that he knew he could beat, and
No,
then maybe,
not true. No,
for those last three fights, he'll have a real fight.
no, no, and no. They
I, I,
told him,
I'd rather see him and Golovkin fight again than see him and Caleb Smith.
do you agree with Breen said? Breen Suter said, Lloyd fought everybody. Yeah, he did. When they was way past their prime. Shane Mosley, Zab Judah. That's right. He did fight everybody. Right. And then the person he did fight
Oh,
that probably did something was before his prime. Canelo. So it was past their prime and before their prime.
Couldn't we say the same thing about the Charlos?
Oh, what about Charlo?
Couldn't we say the same thing about them? Everybody they fought was either, a little past their prime. I mean, who did
Yeah.
they fight that I mean, come on, I mean,
You're right. You're right. Hey, to a certain extent. Because Charlo did fight me when I was 41 years old. I guess that's probably why people ain't really saying it about it. Like, man, he's gonna beat you. But 41 years old, yeah, I hope so. Be in his 20s.
Yeah, I'm, so, but I'm just saying, it's funny that you would give Canelo the benefit of the doubt, and I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I would rather give, let's see, well, I don't know, I can't, I guess maybe it's just because I'm not a diehard Canelo fan,
Okay.
you know, and maybe,
Yeah. I'm not
maybe
either.
I don't see,
Yeah.
all the skills that
Yeah.
everybody else sees,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's like the second fight that he had with Golovkin.
Yeah.
He could have fought Charlo then. He could have fought Danny Jacobs then. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Much
there was a
truth.
lot of, but
Yeah.
it was all about the money.
Yeah.
But I don't think people want to see him fight Triple G
Yeah.
3 times,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though he, now Triple
Yeah.
G is managed by our boy,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'll make the
But
money anymore.
hey,
You
but
know,
look, James, you gotta keep it real, James. Think about it. Floyd, at the time, Floyd was a world champion. I was a world champion. Canelo was a world champion. I was mad that neither one of those guys fought me. Why should they though? I can mess their money up. Why take it?
right?
It's about business. So Floyd didn't fight me. I believe I would have knocked Floyd out. Canelo didn't fight me. I believe I would have knocked Canelo out. You know why? Because styles make fights. They didn't fight me, and it was a good decision for them because I didn't mess with their brand. They kept winning, and that's what Canelo's doing now. Canelo learned from Floyd. He learned from Oscar De La Hoya. Forget about what they saying. I can fight who I want to fight and make $30-something million, $40-something million. I'm gonna fight who I want to fight. It's business. I don't think that Canelo was scared to fight nobody. When he
I
went and fought Erison Landy Lara, I'm talking about he fought Erison Landy Lara in his prime, a southpaw, great fighter. Well, nobody's actually trying to get that work. He was the best fighter skill wise at junior middleweight, and Canelo fought him. Oscar didn't want him to take that fight. He said, "No, I'm taking it. The guy, I'm gonna show him," and took the fight and beat him easy, hands down. So when it comes to the heart, Canelo got the heart, but he got to listen to his team, just like you. You gonna listen to your team. Your team,
okay,
if you married, that's your team. She say, "Hey, go get that vaccine. You gonna get it. You gonna get it because that's your teammate." But
okay,
my teammate said, "Don't get it." I'm not going to get it.
okay.
Right,
Now,
right. And then that's
but
another story. Go ahead.
okay. So now you mentioned all of that, so Here's my deal.
Yeah.
Right now,
Uh-huh.
in that division,
Yeah.
who's the biggest name and the biggest purse that Terrence Crawford, Canelo, anybody around in there could make right now?
Man, I would go with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I think Errol Spence would beat Terrence Crawford because I don't think Terrence Crawford is a big welterweight. I think he's a small welterweight compared to Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence moves up. If he moves up to fight Canelo, I think he will get stopped just because he's just too small. I ain't got nothing against him. I'm just calling an ace a ace and a spade a spade. On the other side, I'm just keeping it 100 on what I feel. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but I think Errol Spence beats Terrence Crawford and Canelo beats he beats Errol Spence. And I think that Caleb Plant possibly would beat Canelo just because of the size. That'll be a great fight. Speaking of a great fight, Terry Joseph be reading our minds because he just brought up that Canelo versus Plant. Spider Moose says Oscar wants to fight Triple G, and Hobson thinks Oscar outpoints him. I did read that. What do you think about Oscar De La Hoya fighting Triple G?
I think Oscar's out of his mind.
I think he is too.
like I told you before, the only way I watched that fight, Oscar had to put on them same tights that he wore back in the day. Anyway,
for real.
Anyway, right now, I think the biggest name that everybody is not talking about for some reason, and you talking about finance, you talking about like you spoke of it, a whole country behind you. What about Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah. Hey, Manny Pacquiao, that's another guy. Like I put him on my top 10 pound for pound.
Now, there you go. Now, why? Now, why don't you have Manny Pacquiao above Canelo? Manny Pacquiao actually fought everybody that wanted to get in the ring with him.
Yeah, you talking about 100 years ago?
He was a baby. Okay, but right now, don't you think that you would get more money fighting Manny Pacquiao than you would anybody else at 147? Huh? Don't you think Manny Pacquiao puts more butts in seats and brings more of a crowd, regardless of win, loss, or draw? Who puts the most butts in seats?
Canelo. Yeah.
Canelo puts
Manny
more
Pacquiao used to put a lot of people in the seats, and but not no more. Canelo is the biggest draw. Canelo, you know what? Matter of fact, it might be Anthony Joshua. Between Anthony Joshua and Canelo. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, he might be, it depends on who he fight. If he fights somebody with a name, then we could bring him out. But people are not stupid. They know Pacquiao is picking his fights right now. And I like Pacquiao. Pacquiao Christian, but you gotta be real
careful. Pacquiao, what do you mean? Pacquiao got to be careful. Pacquiao, you and Pacquiao in the same graduating class. You ain't going out. You ain't going out there trying to fight no 19-year-old.
All right, especially if the money ain't right. And I got to beat him.
Right.
Ernie Haines. Hey, Ernie Haines in the queue though, JK. Ernie Haines in the queue.
Ernie Haines. Oh yeah, okay. Well, bring him on in. Ernie Haines has got a new movie, man. Y'all be sleeping on Ernie. Ernie got a new movie. Ernie got a brand new gym. Hey, so yeah, we bringing Ernie on because Ernie the man up there, man.
Okay. Like a sack chaser. Okay, we trying to bring him on now.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's going on,
buddy? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to see y'all on here.
Yes. Good to be seen.
Good to be seen.
These days, good to be seen. Good to be seen.
Yeah, you never lied about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's been going on? I done
Well,
missed a lot.
Oh man.
we miss you. You got a new movie and everything. You ain't told nobody. You got
Let's see.
new gym.
Yeah, I just saw the movie. And my partner Tom Reed, him and his crew, they are, he's a college professor as well, and he has a professional crew that does Shakespeare in the Park here in Wisconsin, throughout Wisconsin actually, and they did one of their first films in a few months ago, and me and some of the boxers we had a part in it, so it's pretty good. It's called Pericles.
Okay.
Yes, I do Shakespeare.
I thought you was gonna be Othello.
No, that cliche is played out right now. we that the thug roles is too easy to play right now. So, it's time to switch it up, to show everyone that we are heavily educated as a people. Especially what's going on nowadays, a lot of the educated African Americans is actually being showcased now, and it's surprising everybody. That's from just being overlooked for so long. So that's why everybody is shocked. So it is what it is.
Well, when people go back and look at history, there's Paul Winford and people like that. Before the Jim Brown. We did have some actors. James. What's his name? The guy with the deep voice. Yeah, but how are things health-wise up there?
Everyone is pretty much just holding on, trying to stay COVID free, and that's about it. The new gym slash cotton club type deal. We've been spoiled at Turner Hall. We had to leave the community center because it was taking too long for the city to reopen up. And you can't have a fighter laying around a year, and I had to put our fighters on the shelf for nearly a year. No training, they becoming domestic, and I can't have that, Our Virginia crew, they never stopped, I wish they would slow down, but they're not gonna slow down. I mean, they'll fight you in the back of a fish market. They don't care. You got Mighty Mouse in the UFL. They traveling with the guns down, gloves up, and they're successful. And we got team certified 1913 with Tayshawn Brown, and they all located in Virginia, and they're doing their thing. So I'm just trying to get things arranged here and in a few other key places. So hopefully I can bring them closer into a different event with a little television exposure and or pretty much live stream, exposure, and just clean it up a little bit. But they out here getting it raw. They getting it raw.
Now
I'm proud of them.
Have they made any type of arrangements now that we had this vaccine?
Yeah, we got the arrangements going, but the jury is still out. I don't know if I want to shoot my fighters with no with a vaccine right now because they sitting up arguing about it. And besides, with this administration that's actually leaving tomorrow, with this administration that's actually leaving tomorrow, you know, I wasn't gonna trust that. You know, I just wasn't. And then you hearing discrepancies already in the news with it. Oh, we don't have a second shot. We got the second shot, but it ain't time for you to get it yet. Well, you know what? I won't even take the first shot because I don't want to wake up one morning and my damn balls is talking to me. No. So we're gonna just hold up on all of that. And I'm not gonna ruin any fighters' careers by giving them the shot, exposing them to it, and it screw their lungs up. Once it screw up a fighter's lungs, that's it. He's done. You know, that was one of the reasons why I had to do the most heartbreakingest thing is when I had to cancel our event at Sturgis. Excuse me. A lot went on behind the scenes of that show, but COVID was the common denominator of every problem that we had with that event. It was like COVID was just pulling me away from that event, so I had to succumb to it. And I'm actually, you know, I'm not happy that I did, but I'm not sad either that we pulled away from the Sturgis biker event because the news had their way with it. And a lot of heck broke out with it. They started calling it the super spreader. You know, super spreader all on the news, the super spreader. The biggest bike rally in the world, super spreader. Now that's all the media need in this particular administration. All it needed was pretty much probably my black ass face. And I would have been all on CNN, ESPN, and every darn thing else for putting fighters' lives in jeopardy. And I would have been ruined. So I was in between a rock and another rock, pretty much. So yes, I just did what I had to do. I lost some money. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, we lost a lot of money. A lot of money I didn't have to just give up like that. But you know, I had to think about the long run. You know, what if one of our fighters would have died? You know, his family would have came along and sued me because I knowingly put the fighter out there in danger like that. You know, regardless, even though we had the CDC, you know, agents was coming out there to make sure everything was, you know, copacetic and according to the rules. It's just I couldn't do it, y'all. JK, I couldn't fly you out. You know, I couldn't fly, and you catch that stuff.
Yeah.
And besides, the way, yeah.
Ernie. That's the reason why they canceled the tournament because they didn't want nobody to catch. You know, they got sued.
Yes. Yes.
It's serious.
It got leaked to me. This is how I found out. I was a partner of mine.
It's serious.
Yeah, partner of mine said that I was open for a lawsuit.
See?
Yeah, and he works for the news for the news station.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this much. I heard that, and I'm talking about some real good resources that when you get the flu, by you getting the flu shot, you could actually end up with the flu. So the
flu shot is the flu.
There you go.
How do you think you develop immunity against it? They have to give it to you in order for you to get it.
I took that flu shot and damn near died.
There you go.
I was fine without it.
Yeah.
I take one every year. It never bothers me. I take one every year. It never bothers me. But you know.
Yeah. I couldn't. I don't get sick often. You know, I might get sick maybe one good time every 5-6 years, but that's about it. You know, I don't want to be sick every day.
Yeah. All right.
It's a panic.
it's such a panic with this COVID. You know, it used to be a time where they would try these vaccines on a rat, but now we are the guinea pigs.
Yeah, with the Tuskegee and all those other experiments and stuff, you know, and JK, I'm pretty sure you know some that we don't even know about. You know,
I mean,
I remember hearing about spinal taps and all of that back in the day. I don't want to go through that.
yeah, you know, I'm leery. I'm very leery of the AstraZeneca. Just because of you know their paid their past reputation within the black community. You know, but what I wanted to ask you, Ernie, are the states each individually responsible for their regulations?
Well, each state has its own laws. So, you know, like for instance, Illinois is it has some restrictions right now. That's just right not far from my house, the border. They have restrictions, but Wisconsin really don't have restrictions like that. They just ask us to be safe, you know. Watch how many people come in the stores and things like that. You know, Wisconsin is somewhat open, but you know, as long as you don't get obnoxious with your crowds, you know, that's where we at in Wisconsin.
So are you anticipating events? I know K9 said he was having an event March 6th. Do you have any dates that you're thinking of in the future?
Well, right now, I signed a non-disclosure agreement with a company that's you know, planning on, you know, pumping a little something into Team Certified. So it depends on what they want to do. I hear they say 6 shows a year they want me to do, but 6 shows is a lot of shows, but I'll get them done. It's not like I don't have a venue, you know, because my gym, if has anyone seen the little documentary that's called on Showtime, I believe it is, it's called Ringside.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I'm in that in the background in that movie, in that documentary, but that's actually my gym. That's my ballroom upstairs, Turner Hall. That's where we had fights at back in the day. That's actually where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So we got a venue here. We also have a venue in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay.
We have one there with the Sports Authority. So we're good there. And that's going to be coming up this year. But right now, if we just training right now and trying to stay out of each other's way, try to keep our insurances and everything covered. And I'm not moving until I get an investor. And that's the way it is right now. I've gone as far as I want to go right now, out of my own pocket and out of my partner's pockets and stuff. We said enough. You know, enough is enough. You know, we've been doing this. We've been sponsoring this team out of pocket for now 7 years. 7 years. And someone still can skin their gums back and talk crap about me.
Right.
Won't say it to my face, but they'll do it. You know. But it's okay, because if you talk down on someone, then you know that person must be a threat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't talk down on my garbage man.
Hey,
So,
if they ain't talking about, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing. But you know, all we want to do is get people, these young athletes, off the streets. Give them a chance. because all the big wigs didn't overlook them because they didn't have that amateur pedigree.
Come on, somebody.
The reason why they didn't, the reason why they didn't have that amateur pedigree is because the LBCs is broke. And the police athletic leagues, it's only a few of them left now. You know, everyone else is flying unattached.
That's right.
You know, so the coaches, you know, they have to work 2 and 3 jobs, which that affects their marriage a lot of times. You know, just for, you know, other kids. I'm having problems with one of my sons right now because I used to spend so much time with other people's kids, you know, and he didn't got loose on me. You know, so yeah.
One of your sons?
The one that used to box.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't got loose. You know, these little girls, you know, he got his little muscles and all of that, and these little girls is at him and stuff. And I guess one of them didn't play with his booty or something, and he didn't just went nuts.
My son
yeah, I don't know what they did. Yeah, so
boy. Not even his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
They grow up so quick though, don't they?
Yes. Overnight.
Overnight.
I was taller than him. Now I look up to him.
Yeah. They grow up so they just boosh and they grown, or they darn near there, you know, and they mature so fast. You know, at his age, I mean, he's got sideburns, he's got the full goatee, all of that stuff, and you know, he's 17. I'm like, dang, I didn't get that till I was in my 20s.
Right. Hey. So crazy part, they'll go out there and try to keep you winter time outside, cold, everything. They go out there with on the bus to go see some girl.
Yeah, go see some girl. And these girls be all over my son, 2 and 3 of them, and sometimes they be knowing each other. I'm like, what is he hung like a freaking horse or something? I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, it's a male shortage. It's a male shortage. So the girls want all the morning. The boys want each other. And the ones that don't want boys, the girls want them because they ain't that many of them.
This is a weird generation.
Yeah.
This is a weird era.
Yes.
Ernie, you talked earlier about police being involved with boxing. Back in our day, it was normal. It was just part of the neighborhood. Do you think that with all this talk of police reform, that we'll get used to having these type of organizations without back in the neighborhood? And do you think that the black neighborhood will accept police back in this particular role?
Yeah. That's how the police fell. And that's how the communities and the police department and the fire department, that's how because the police and the fire department they're grouped together. They pretty much have the same union. When the police athletic league stepped out of sports, youth sports and boxing, that's when boxing pretty much, even in the pros now, that's when boxing pretty much kind of lost its discipline. You know, people started talking reckless, saying things that they shouldn't be saying, discussing things that's supposed to have been discussed in private. They discussing it all out in the open now, confusing folks. A lot of the treachery, you know, people sneaking in your fighter's ear and talking and stuff. Everything is too blatant right now. But when the police athletic league was in charge, and I'm talking about a lot of these world champions, I'm talking about like Larry Holmes and all of them, they were cops. They coaches were cops. Those men that were in their corners were cops. I think K9, you can answer this for me. Wasn't Manny Stewart in the police on the police department at one time?
I know he was. He was he worked. He was actually Sugar Hill. His nephew.
Okay.
His nephew. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to was he worked on the line. He was on. I can't think. James King. You should know what Manny Stewart did.
You should know what Manny Stewart did. Sugar was the one I thought that was in law enforcement. Sugar was the one I thought that was in law enforcement.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was. He was. Yeah,
it's always been law enforcement.
He was. Yeah,
I know they was in some part of corrections. They were either straight up law enforcement or some type of juvenile services or probation officers or something.
Yeah, Manny was on that. He was on that. He was on the line.
Okay.
I'm talking about the line. I'm talking about
the
line. I'm talking about
uh-huh. That wouldn't have been Mike. Yeah. We wouldn't have had a Mike Tyson if it wasn't for law enforcement.
Yeah.
And juvenile services.
Or the streets.
Of course, or the streets. We would have lost him on the streets though. But they brought him off the streets and they sculpted that anger. Mm-hmm. And he was beautiful.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like I come from the streets. Bernard Hopkins, Mike, K900.
You,
yeah. Come on. Give me the best fighters.
The best sound fighters. I mean, that's who raised me. Was the Police Athletic League. That's who brought me up.
Yeah.
And I show fighters, things today, and other coaches look at me and be like, you must don't know it. What you doing? We don't do it like that. We never seen it. I'm like, what? You never seen anything? You don't know about angle? You don't know about odd angling? Yeah. You don't know how to shift your leg over to get more range up top? Where have you fought at? That's what I asked him. Where have you been? Who taught you? You don't know how to give different looks, different angles. But that's another story, because a lot of coaches, they just took up the hobby. It started out as a hobby, then it turned into a career because they want to do something for kids. So I can't knock them for the education that they got. Yeah.
Who you say is the best pound for pound in the world right now? King think it's Tyson Fury.
I did not. See, there you go. I said should he be in consideration?
I've never found. Tyson Fury is what? 6 foot. He's 7'2", 7'3".
No.
How tall is he?
6'9".
Okay, Tyson Fury is 6'9", and he's over 300 pounds. And he moves the way. He what?
275.
He 275.
Yeah.
And that man can move like that.
Yeah.
So yes, he is on the list.
Oh, definitely.
He's definitely on the list because it just think you see something that big moving like that. That's scary.
Very.
That is
powerful. Is he powerful?
He hasn't actually been tested yet. Really.
He hasn't been active either.
Right. I mean, with the Bomber, he lost. That first time he lost to Wilder, it's because he was playing. He didn't take Wilder serious, and Wilder dropped one of them bombs on him, and dropped that anesthetic down on him, and he went to sleep, for a few seconds, for 10 seconds, and he got up, Yeah. But the second time, he knew not to play with that man.
Man, he got with Crump.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he
And
did.
Wilder did not make judgment. Wilder should, what don't he should. You ain't gonna knock everybody out.
Now Wilder is gonna come back a more sound fighter. He's gonna come back a more dangerous fighter because now he understands that he's not the biggest hitter out here. Everybody, there's someone out here that can take your power and keep it going. So when we see Wilder again, I bet you he'd be a whole totally different fighter, more polished, everything. So we can't count him out yet because look what Fury did. Fury looked like garbage the first time they fought, then he came back polished up. So I'm waiting to see how Wilder comes how Wilder comes back after his defeat. Because we really don't rise until we get beat.
Hey Ernie, you said that Fury I feel like Fury won the first fight. He caught it draw. They want to mess that money up.
Compare the way he fought that first fight to the second fight. And when you compare those two, he looked like garbage that first fight. Because he was on point that second fight. Yeah. He set the dick on the table and said, "Here it is, what you want." And got it. So I'm like, whoa. The man look frightening.
Yeah, I bring it up a lot. That I actually sparred Tyson Fury, and man, that was ring with somebody and was nervous. Nervous. 6'9". Yeah,
6'9".
When he came to see what Manny Stewart used to do. Is when my first person who allowed him to spar was me to see if it was better. They even was he going to get him a crunk? Was he going to get him a crunk ring with me and get past me? If they did that, they got their crunk coat. And it might be a spin night of the match. Yeah.
That was a good way to gauge.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't waste. So he wouldn't waste his time, and you wouldn't be wasting yours. If you had it, you had it. If you didn't, so be it.
Trying to figure out what James.
We lost JK.
Yeah.
He probably could hear us. But he'll pop back in.
Yeah, he might have.
There you go.
I told you.
We had echo. And I was hoping I could get away from it, but I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been hearing that echo. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, Spider Moose and a couple other people were definitely talking about the echo.
Oh, can they hear it? Can they hear it? Still hear it?
Well, it seems that you're fine. It's mostly K9 and I. Seems that you're fine. It's mostly K9 and I.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go this year, but we're gonna move carefully, because I don't want anyone getting sick. I'm trying to be at one of my events.
So
I can't have it.
How's that going to work out? If each state is responsible for its own regulations, and you're talking about what North Carolina, as well as Wisconsin and Florida, I believe. Mighty Mouse and those guys, they fight down here too, right?
Yeah. See, that's where television plays a major part in live streaming, because there's going to be a lot of shows that we're going to have with no
Excuse me,
audience.
Ernie.
Yeah.
Are you on speakerphone?
Yeah. I got
Okay,
you
what it
plugged
is.
into my
Yeah.
car. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, with that I don't know. Well, anyway, go ahead. That might be it too. But we can still
How is
see.
it now? Is it still echoing?
Let me see. Can you hear me now?
We still got an echo?
No, I don't
Yeah,
hear
I can
echo
hear
now.
you.
Okay.
Yep. I don't hear no echo. I think
Okay.
that's what it was. It was your speakerphone.
Okay. Yeah, feedback.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Spider
Yeah.
Moose who caught that. Spider Moose in the building. Yeah, he caught that.
Spider Moose. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
good catch.
Yeah.
so
Boy, sharp shooter. That's why he got that reach.
a lot of that I'm pretty sure our audience didn't hear, Ernie. So what were you saying about the movie and where it was shot at?
The
You said
movie?
you said it was a part of Showtime.
Oh yeah, it's called it's a documentary about a fighter in, I believe, in Illinois. The documentary is called Ringside, and yeah, that's where my gym is at. And and of course they caught me in the locker room because one of my fighters was fighting there. But now that's where my gym is at. It's downstairs, and our arena is upstairs. Our ballroom is upstairs. So it's a real elegant, classy place. So yeah, I really like it. We had to do something because the community centers is not open here yet,
Right,
So
exactly.
we had to do something. Yeah.
I heard the community centers won't be open until like September.
Yeah, that's
And that's even
too
if
long.
then. That's a long time.
That's a long
First
time,
round. One love.
From February of 2020 till September.
Wow.
Of 21, that's a long time for a fighter to be out the gym.
Man, that's a long time for the kids to be out gym. Period. Recreation centers actually is a big part of help saving these kids. I noticed one in Detroit when the mayor closed all the recreation centers down, the crime started going up. People were breaking in people's houses, and it was the kids, it was the teenagers that was breaking in houses. So with these recreation centers being closed and boxing gyms being closed, crimes are going up. Kids are smoking and popping more pills than ever. They sipping on lean and everything, trying to be the next rapper to overdose. It's bad. Terrible.
That don't make sense. Everybody home. Why you gonna break in the house with somebody home?
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody ain't home. Some people working. People are going to work. Everybody ain't getting a stimulus check. It's the people that's working. It's a lot of people working. I mean, shoot, restaurants
Shit, I wish I could get
right.
I wish I could get a stimulus check.
Man, I wish I get one too.
Get my stimulus
check.
Man. Right. Come stimulate my stimuli. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I don't know where K9 is at, but we don't have no restaurants open out here in California. The restaurants it's all takeout out here, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. You got a few of them you can sit down and eat at.
Ain't no place to sit down and eat out here. You can't go out here. There's no place out here where you can go sit and eat. Everything is takeout.
Wow.
So that's why, and believe it or not, the people that actually won the lawsuit out here to be able to serve food was Cheetahs and Jazz, which are strip clubs. So I guess who the hell went to a strip club to eat? Come on now.
Exactly.
So you go to the strip club and they can slang juice all over you at the strip club, but you can't go get nothing to eat?
No.
From a restaurant?
This world is crazy.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. No echo. Damon says no more echo, y'all.
Yeah, we good now.
Hey, Fruits in the building. Yeah. Hey, first round said we all good now. We good, y'all. So we 100.
So
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a good catch by Spider Moose though, because I wouldn't even thought about the echo. I thought it was just I don't know what it was.
but Ernie, we had another discussion before you came on today, and that was concerning Devin Haney,
Mm-hmm.
Telefio Lopez,
Mm-hmm.
Gervonta Davis, and
Uh-huh.
Ryan Garcia.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm gonna put K9 on Front Street like he always try to
Uh-oh.
do me. Now, K9 says that
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Garcia
Uh-huh.
will beat Gervonta Davis. Okay,
Got a good chance.
so because styles make fights. Okay,
Come on, somebody.
but he also says that he thinks that Teofimo Lopez
Yeah.
is the number one in that division. So
No, I
if
didn't
you
say
had,
that. I didn't quite say that.
well, okay. Well, you said it was Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia.
No, I didn't say a number. That was you and somebody else. Y'all had
No.
exactly the same order. No,
Right.
I said the Styles may fight.
Mine was different because I had
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis at number 2.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had Ryan Garcia beating Gervonta Davis. So therefore,
Yeah.
I can't. So you
Yeah.
can't rank all of a sudden Gervonta Davis over Ryan Garcia if you've already got Ryan Garcia beating him.
I
So
said Ryan
anyway,
Garcia because the Styles would beat him. But I think Shakur Stevenson is the best out of the whole weight class. Shakur Stevenson.
because Shakur Stevenson is not. We're not talking about Shakur Stevenson right now. We're
We're
talking
talking
about
about the pound for pound best in that weight class.
Right? Does he have a belt right now? No.
And that's
Okay.
a good question. I think he do.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think
So
he do got a belt.
he's dangerous.
He's very dangerous.
So anyway, Ernie. Ernie, given those 4 fighters, how do you have them stacked up? And what do you think is the best matchup there? Because Devin Haney says he wants to fight them all. I think Devin Haney is the weakest out of the bunch. What's your thoughts?
Well, at one time they thought William Guthrie was weak until he took Michael Nunn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same with James Toney.
Yeah. So I me personally, Gervonta Davis.
We can't hear you, Ernie. We can't hear you.
Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
The reason why I got Gervonta Davis, the head of the pack, is because the way he delivered his packages, the way he punched.
Okay.
He punches with gravity behind his punches and his body weight.
Yeah.
And his stuff is stiff.
Yeah.
So it's hard to counter him.
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody counter him yet? I'm talking about just straight bing. He hit you and they rubber band right back and come back. They can't hit him like that because his punches is too heavy. Every time he hit you, he knock you out of range.
I think he's the most exciting out of all the other fighters, but he hasn't fought the kind of competition like Spider Moose just said. Lopez has the best wins in the division. He KO'd the reigning champ, then unified against Lomachenko.
Oh, okay, all right, but Ernie. So you have Gervonta Davis number 1. So who's number 2?
I gotta bring one of them brothers in for number 2.
So which?
Yeah, I gotta bring them one of them Garcias.
Garcias?
The young one. What's his name?
Ryan Garcia. Okay, so you make Ryan Garcia.
I mean, that's a tough kid. I mean,
okay.
You hit him. He's trying to get his lick back.
Okay, you talking about the Ryan Garcia that just beat Luke Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's Ryan Garcia we talking about.
Yeah, but I can't believe you got him number 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is Ernie's list. It's not
I
K9's list.
gave
It's Ernie's list.
I gave him number 2 because of his heart.
Yeah.
His heart and
Okay.
his relentless. He tried, even though you hurt him, he tried to get his lick back. Even if he
Yeah.
got to crawl to you to hit you on your ankles, he trying to get his shit back.
Okay.
So I gotta get him number 2.
Okay, so number 3 is
Now,
got to be either Haney or Lopez.
Or Shakur
right,
Stevenson.
right. I don't know too much. Well, Shakur Stevenson now, he'll take Garcia's place.
Exactly. So he number 2.
If we brought Stevenson in there.
But we didn't have Stevenson in there. We only had those 4. So right now you got Gervonta number 1.
Mhm.
You got Ryan Garcia number 2.
Right.
So you
Number
got
2.
Haney or Lopez for number 3.
Right. I don't know too much about Lopez. But Devin Haney, it depends on if the right Haney show up. If the right Haney show up, but Haney and maybe for that spot, maybe Haney and Lopez should fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I think to be honest with both of you guys, I think in that division, anybody got a chance to beat anybody. It's just who got the better game plan or who feels better that day. If you go in that fight with any of those fighters fighting each other and one of them got a stomachache that day or one of them head hurting a little bit that day, he gonna lose. You gotta be on your A game all the way around because they gonna be getting up for each other. Those fights, any one of those guys that we mentioning right now, getting in the ring with each other, they bringing their A game. I would pay to see any of those guys fight each other on pay-per-view because they bringing it like we wish Mayweather and Pacquiao would have brought it way earlier.
I would love to see.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna take a lot for anybody to shut that little tank down. No, he ain't got that big old head for nothing. It's gonna take a lot for somebody to shut that head down. You gotta hit him over the head with
Ryan Garcia. They talking about them 2 fighting. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis supposed to be fighting from what I heard.
Yeah, that's the matchup right now. It's supposed to be Ryan Garcia against Tank, and then Telefimo against Haney, and the winners fight.
No. Bar Aram said that Tefimo
be mandatory. They have to. They be mandatory. They have to. They be mandatory.
It's the boss.
Yeah,
you know what? No, he ain't. No. Well, he the boss of Tefimo, and he said he not putting him in there with Devin Haney. He said Devin Haney hasn't done enough to get a fight with him. Don't forget, Tefimo, he took a few belts from Lomachenko.
Yeah, he took all the belts from Lomachenko. He got 5 belts. I understand that, but he got to fight. I mean, if he's not, then he's gonna fight the winner of Tank and Ryan Garcia. I can see that too. I can see him waiting out for that, but then that would leave Ryan Garcia kind of out in the cold, or then maybe you're talking about a matchup between Ryan Garcia and Shakura Stevenson.
Yeah,
that would be a good fight. That would be a good. I don't. Yeah. You say that you think Ryan Garcia beat Tank. Do you think that Ryan Garcia also beat Shakura Stevenson?
No. Shakur on a different level. I don't even think these guys gonna fight. I think it's just a bunch of hype so people can start wanting to fight, and then all of a sudden they're gonna make more money because they're gonna postpone the fight or they're gonna prolong the fight, and they're gonna end up making more money, or they're gonna end up one of them gonna end up losing, and the money is not gonna be the same, and they ain't gonna be there on the table. I don't think they're gonna fight each other. I think the only guy that really wants to fight all of them is Teofimo Lopez. I think he wants all the smoke. He done proved it. He's fighting any and everybody. He's been calling all those guys out, and he's willing to fight any of them.
Depends on how his views look now. It ain't about ticket sales no more. It's about them views.
Yeah. And
I'm glad you said that
because Devontae Davis and Ryan Garcia, if they fight, they gonna easily make 2 million, 3 million pay-per-view buys. And they gonna sell out whatever arena they actually fight in, and they can't fight without no crowd because the money ain't gonna be there. So if they do fight, they're only fighting if it's gonna be a crowd involved because they gotta have a gate to pay both guys.
Ernie, that's something that I wanted to ask you without getting too far into the business end. Now that there's not a live crowd to depend on, do you have to go at sponsors differently? I mean, fighters can't sell tickets anymore. So, what has become the alternatives?
Well, for us small promoters, we would need television or some type of live stream. Like for me, we got Ira in his company and Ira Glass. But yeah, you would need some type of live stream to get your money for smaller promoters. And if we didn't live stream or have television, then yeah, we would definitely need an investor. And if we had an investor, guess what? We're not going to make nothing off a live stream. We might see 25%, 30% of what comes in off a live stream. That's it. And that's pretty much going to be enough to cover the bills if we don't have a live audience, So that really hurts the smaller promoter like myself. It hurts us. We have a little extra things that we have to do, to make things successful and just to make a few dollars to put in our pockets to carry us over to the next show. But the bigger promoters, like, you got the PBC, you got Golden Boy and all of them. See, they have all the connections. They have the ear of the television, production crews and stuff. They have all of that. Bob Arum and all of that. They have access to all of that. So that's another thing we need to talk about too. It's about these old ass goddamn promoters. Y'all get your asses out the way and let these new promoters come up. Damn. Fuck wrong with y'all? Y'all 90 years old, still in the way. Invest in these younger promoters that's coming up so you can keep your money going. Y'all just holding motherfuckers back and stuff. Pardon my language. Let me calm down. I ain't had my medicine today. Yeah. These older promoters, they need to go ahead and invest in these smaller promoters that's trying to come up. That way they can keep their money coming in. You 8 years old, come on, man. Step off the throne, make some money off of, these young cats coming up that's trying to do something. Damn, what you gonna do? Wait till you die on the damn throne?
Yeah, I heard Don King about to throw another show. I heard too.
Don need to sit down and be a mentor. Don needs to sit down and be a mentor. And he needs to find him a young promoter and invest in him and teach that promoter, pass the knowledge down and get his money that way. He can get his dividends out of that promoter by investing.
Hey,
what is he stepping back on the scene for? That's like a motherfucker coming out here going to the racetrack with a big deuce in the quarter.
Benjamin Franklin old too.
You can't
Everybody
do that.
trying to be down with him.
The streets ain't even wide enough for a deuce in the quarter no more. I mean, they don't even make leaded gas anymore. Come on now. Let these young Mustangs and these Corvettes and these Acuras and all of that and get out here. Let them do something. Let them do something. Invest in them coming up. I ain't saying you got to invest in me, but it's more young up and coming promoters that's bringing fresh talent off the streets. The reason why you not getting the talent that you want is because the younger promoters is holding the talent back until they get something where they can feed their crops. Because they the ones that raise the crops and they protecting them from you. They don't want you coming to their garden, snatching their crops up out the ground by the root and not leaving nothing behind. so he can raise the other crops coming up in the gym. Damn.
Yeah. Then you have a fighter. You had a fighter with Team Certified who fought against Spence. What's his name? Joey Spencer.
That's Akeem Black.
Okay. And a lot of people feel like he won that fight. Did y'all feel like y'all won that fight?
It should have been a draw.
Okay.
I feel like we won that fight, but it should have been a draw because I understand the politics. I understand that was Spencer's territory. He was the favorite, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you should have gave us a draw. And you shouldn't have turned off the CompuBox because everybody saw that. You should have at least turned that off so when nobody see Akeem hitting him 9 times in the head, he eating shots to the head, but Spencer's points is going up on CompuBox. They could at least shut that off and gave us a draw. But that's how I roll. Okay, we moving on. Moving on because that fight is gonna forever hunt him. So, now he's way too big for us. Now he was bigger than us in that fight.
Right.
And we had a broke wrist on one hand and a busted thumb on the other hand.
Yeah.
Wow. But we was banging him. And then I really couldn't tell my fighter none because they was right there in my mouth with the earphones, with the mic. I'm like, loosen your fingers up and just let them roll off.
Right.
But all being said, I thank them for the opportunity though.
Yeah.
For letting us, it was a heck of an experience. I loved it. And that's one moment in my life that I will forever remember. And I'm pretty sure King forever remember that too. So I thank them for that. And I'm here to tell you, they had their stuff together there. A lot of people talk about,
BBC.
Talk about how they run things, but when we were there, man, they had their stuff together, man. I was learning. I was in school when I was there. I got to give it to them. I'm not gonna hate on them. They had their stuff together. They was on time. Bing, bing, bing. Everything was rolling. That's the type of machine that I want. I want a machine like that.
Yeah.
But things. It just wasn't our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, I guess. But we keep waiting and we keep wondering when our time is going to come. But K9,
Right.
why don't you get the final thoughts from Ernie and social media and all that? And
Yeah. Ernie, definitely Ernie. Team Certified in the building. Tell Tally I said, hey. Any final thoughts, man? Any social media you want to shout out? Anybody you want to say hello to? You want to say hi to moms? Anybody?
Hi, Mom. That's about it right
now. Disney World?
I do want to shout out to our Virginia team. I want them to be careful, because they are very active, and I don't want anyone to catch anything. UFL with Mighty Mouse and 1913 certified is with Tayshawn. Y'all brothers, I need y'all to be careful. I know y'all scooping kids off the streets and squashing beefs on the streets, in different hoods and stuff. But I need y'all to really be careful because I don't want our ship to come in and then all y'all sick and can't get on board. So y'all just be careful. So, I wish everyone that's watching this cast all the health, good health. Tomorrow we take on a new presidency, new cabinet, everything. Let's see how this works. There's not much to say with Corona on the scene, so we got to do what we got to do. We got a lot of rebuilding here because a lot of businesses has been crushed.
Right.
And I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Team Certified didn't get hit in the mouth, either with the way things is. We took some losses, and right now we spending up our surpluses. We spending up our surplus money just staying idle and out the way. That's costing money,
Yeah.
So I'm this close from having to go get a job.
Wow.
I thought I was retired, but I'm
Okay.
this freaking close.
Yeah.
This close. Wait, y'all gotta get my fingers in here. This freaking close. That close.
Oh man, I hear you. Hey,
Shit.
I'm ready.
I ain't trying to
I'm
lose no
ready.
more money.
I think I'm gonna apply for a job and then sue them if they don't hire me for ageism.
Man, I said, man, even my wife is starting to look at me like, look, dude, you spending too much money on these kids and on these fighters. We supposed to be down south where it's warm at. So
Yeah.
Hey.
We just buckling up, and I ain't no rich dude. Don't get me wrong. I ain't rich at all. I'm poor. I can qualify for food stamps. And that's for
We
real.
appreciate you. Definitely we appreciate you, man.
Thank you. See,
we
it's friends like y'all that make me a rich man, though.
Okay.
Y'all make me a rich man. Friends like y'all is what makes me rich. And I can live with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Well,
that's
night,
my word
brother.
for tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate y'all. And y'all have a blessed night, okay?
All right. Cheers.
Okay, peace.
Stay up. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, K9, it's another Tuesday here in the bag. So what's going on with K9's Corner, man?
Man, K9's Corner. Hey, JK, I just want to say, man, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. I just feel like, man, some people are throwing in the towel. In a boxing match, you want to fight to the end. You want to win, win, win. And life is a fight. And this fight that we have in the COVID, at the Capitol, the COVID, the vaccines, whatever you do, don't throw in the towel. And I'm not gonna throw in the towel. That's why I got back in the ring. Brothers like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones inspire me to keep fighting. So I got back in the ring and fought. Brothers like James King doing podcasts, the guys at your age, man, they sitting there, man, just waiting to just leave the world. And you out here on podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Living your life. Brothers like Don King still promoting shows. Bob Arum still promoting shows. Floyd Mayweather Sr., if I'm not mistaken, still training fighters. So I'm just saying, man, to whoever that's watching, no matter the circumstances, don't give up. Don't throw in a towel. Live to fight another round. It may seem like it's bad on one side, but when it rains, the sun comes out. Am I right or wrong, James?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so man, don't throw up, man. God said in the Bible, he said that we're more than conquerors. He didn't say we conquerors. He said we're more than conquerors. And that's big. Coming from the chief himself. So that's what you get at K9 Boxing. The Dawg Pound. You can find me at K9 Boxing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I'm never going to throw in a towel. And I got a new website too. It's K9 Boxing Fitness. So y'all go cop that K9 gear. And JK, when you ain't on a Dawg Pound on Tuesday at 9:00, where you at? When you ain't chilling in the house at K9 Boxing on a Dawg Pound, where you at? Monday through Friday.
On Monday, I'm actually right here on StreamYard. we do a podcast called The Political Consciousness of West Coast Steeler Fan. So you can catch my liberal rants on my own channel. We're also on YouTube. On Thursday, you can catch us on the Sports Crib. We talk about the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Lions. No, wait.
Wow.
No, we don't. We really talk about the Pittsburgh
Okay.
Steelers, the
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs,
I'm about to say
and
Detroit versus
but
everybody.
but
Yeah.
no, we recently have added a new guy from Toronto. Uh, so he follows the Raptors as well as the Pistons and the rest of the East.
Yeah.
And of course, we follow the National Football League. So we have to talk about all the coaching changes. Where's Matt Stafford going to end up next year?
Yeah.
Good
Man.
question. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You're a lion.
so I am connected with sports and connected with politics as well as K9 boxing. So
Yeah.
anyone that wants to find me, just go to JEK3 on Facebook,
Yeah.
and you'll see all our pages, including K9, the Dog Pound with K9 Boxing, and the Weekend Rap. So we're active all over. Just look for us. And you can look for our podcast to be put up on our Facebook page, the Weekend Rap, as well as the Dog Pound, as soon as we get off the air.
Now, let me ask you this too, though, Jay, before you leave. Now, you got that Fisher's hat on. Well, it look like a Fisher's hat. Do you know that, in the basketball games when Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and, Kenny Smith, when they be talking about who going fishing, like who's going to lose, who going to be the first to go fishing, who going to win the championship between the Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. You think the Brooklyn Nets are going to the championship? They got the three-headed monster. They got Harden. They got Kevin Durant. And they got what's my man? They got the good handles. Kyrie Irving.
They got Kyrie, they got James Harden, and they got Kevin Durant, and they will not beat the Lakers or the Clippers.
Wow.
As far as that goes. And number two, the Brooklyn Nets look really good.
Yeah.
With James Harden there.
Yeah.
The first game, James Harden dropped a triple-double.
So did.
But you got to remember, Kyrie hasn't been there for 2 games. Now, it was okay when Kevin dropped 42 and Harden dropped 30.
Yeah.
But now what's going to happen when Kyrie has to have the ball?
We gonna see.
Yes, we are. So when it comes to coaching and personalities, I have to take the teams in the West. And not only that, Kyrie still believes the world is flat. So when's he gonna dribble the ball off the edge of the court? You never know.
Right.
Anyway, so
I know that's another discussion. Let me ask you one more question about that, and then I'm gonna let you go. Have the league changed big time? It used to be the days of Michael Jordan. He didn't want to go team up with Isaiah Thomas or Charles Barkley. He wanted to play against those guys, compete. Now these guys all want to join up and be friends and all superstars. Let's anything to win. I mean, to me, that's weak. I want to see the best play the best on individual teams, not teaming up with each other. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't watch basketball like I used to no more because the competition ain't the same and the league is a lot softer. You barely touch the guy. It's a technical foul.
Well, wait a minute now. I mean, can't we say the same thing about boxing? All the fighters are friends now. Everybody wants to be on everybody else's YouTube. Everybody wants to be seen out at the club together. In some cases, some of them screwing the same girl.
It's a fight, bro. It's a fight. They got to fight, but at the end of the day, they ain't gonna let nobody take their money. I'm not gonna hear that.
I understand that, but how many times did you see Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler going out to dinner. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, yeah.
You know,
I
it's
mean, I don't
the
see
whole
Charlie and
game.
Canelo going out to dinner.
The whole game is different now. You
Yeah,
know,
of course. Oh yeah,
you know,
everything is different.
yeah. You know, I mean, you
You
know,
walking around with mask on now.
yeah. You know, but like you said, you know,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan didn't want to team up with nobody else.
No.
You know, it was when you looked at the old Lakers with Magic and Kareem and them, they didn't want to be together. They just happened to get put together.
Absolutely.
You know,
Draft.
Shaq and Kobe didn't want to be together. They knew that if there was going to be a championship in LA, the
Yeah.
owners put them together. You know,
Absolutely.
and then you saw how that worked out. So
Yeah.
things are a lot different now. You
Yeah,
know,
indeed.
so you know,
Yeah.
it's based more on relationships, and you know, it's just like everything else. You know, you kind of have to grow with the times.
Yeah.
You
Adapt.
know, when you know Marvin Hagler was champ, they was buying Cadillacs. Floyd buys Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
You know,
Now we driving Bentleys.
right. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, before you couldn't spell Bentley. You know,
Yeah.
you knew how to spell Cadillac because it was made in Detroit.
Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
that's the way things go, man. You know, but
That's life.
yeah, hey, I look forward to talking to you next Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
And you know, hey, I'm glad to see that we're getting a lot of new people in. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Spider Moose.
Yeah.
Especially for finding out what was why we were
Yeah.
getting that echo.
Yeah.
Jesus M.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone else I see over here in the chat. So
Yeah.
uh,
Appreciate y'all.
you guys have a great night, man, and
Hit the
make
like
sure
button.
you subscribe to the channel, hit the
Yes.
like button, and
And super chat.
yeah, and we do accept donations, K9. So
Cash
let
app. That's right.
so
Absolutely. All right. That's right.
let them know we ain't got our COVID check either. So.
Man, right. And this ain't free. Tell them we pay for this right here. StreamYard. They don't know. Absolutely. All right, y'all.
You have a
Appreciate
good
you.
night, man.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Yeah.